imbalances, which puts a lot of tension in the forearm, all the way up into the shoulder sometimes if you don't stretch correctly, and then actually put some strain on the wrist. So these are all stretches that you need to do as often as possible, especially if you work on a computer, you're getting tight through the carpal tunnel area, and just opening up the wrist, getting the energy flowing, the chi flowing through your wrist joint and into the fingers and then on up through the arms. So we're going to start with a prayer position. Prayer position is a relaxed position, but you can use it as an active stretch. Pressing the palms together, elbows out to the side, and you want to press the palms down to the floor and draw the shoulders back. So just opening up the wrist, keep the heel of the hand together, and then we're going to do revolving prayer. So you're going to press the prayer forward, fingertips forward, and then down, stretch through the wrist, the carpal tunnel area, and keep the palms together, elbows pressing down, and then revolve the fingertips back towards your chest. So open up the other direction, and then back to the center, and then place the back of the hand together, the wrist to the wrist, knuckles to knuckles, fingertips to fingertips, and press the hands into each other as you press the elbows down. So you open up through the wrist the other way. Take a few breaths here. And then you're going to take your hands behind your back. Here's another variation, reverse namaste. So you want to have a prayer position behind your back, and then the prayer is resting against the spine, and then you press the elbows back and the heel of the hand together. So you have a nice prayer position here, and then a variation from here is to fold forward. So you can do forward bend with a reverse namaste, like this. Elbows are pressing towards the sky. The heel of the hand is pressing towards each other. Take a few breaths here. Then inhale, lift the chest. And now we're going to do a little bit of a back bend with reverse namaste. So press the heel of the hand into the lower back so you lengthen from the sacrum, arch back slightly, and then inhale back to the center. Release the palms and place the palms on the lower back, fingers facing up the spine. This is another wrist stretch also for the fingers. And you're going to press the tailbone down, lift through the lengthening of the spine and arching back. Open the wrist, take a few breaths here. Doesn't matter how far you arch back. Open your heart up to the sky. Breathe into your heart. And then release. Now we're going to go down to the floor. There's a couple of exercises you can do to stretch and strengthen your wrists. One of them, you can start kneeling on your hands and knees, and you're going to just do one hand at a time. Take the left hand, place the palm flat on the mat, palm facing up, and then you're going to take the right hand and press the right hand into the pad of the left hand, so right where the thumb attaches to the hand. And press the pad away, and then draw the shoulder back away from the front. So you're going to lengthen the arm, and that stretches the wrist a little bit more. Take a few breaths here. And then you're going to turn the palm inward, and the palm faces up, and just press down on the wrist. So the elbow is straight and the shoulder is drawing back, and you're stretching through the forearm and opening up the wrist. All of these stretches, what they're doing is they're just allowing for the chi or that prana, or the energy to flow through your arm down into the fingers, so there's no blockages. When you're stretching and you're releasing this tension and these blockages, you're creating optimal energy flow throughout your whole body. And then slowly release this pose. Then place the fingertips flat on the mat and press into your hand. You can even release the other hand if you want, just to strengthen the wrist now. Strengthen without strain. Press into the fingers. This is called a finger bridge. Take a few breaths here. finish, you're going to roll it out. So just stretch the wrist, roll it, bring the fingertips together, and then undulating back. So this is a wrist undulation. It's like you're grasping for a cloud, but there's nothing there. Then you roll back and forth. And we're going to do the other side. So you're going to take the right hand to the floor, palm faces up, left hand presses into the fatty part of the right hand, pressing the thumb away, and then draw the right shoulder down and back, so you're opening through the wrist even deeper. Take a few breaths here. Then turn the fingers facing inward and stretch through the front of the wrist and all the way up to the forearm. And take a few breaths like this. And then place the fingers flat onto the mat. Press into the fingers, strong fingers, and strengthen the wrist with the finger bridge. Take 3 breaths. And then release, and we're going to roll it out. So same thing as before, it's an undulation at the wrist. The wrist needs its fluid motion, and it's very rare that it gets it. Sometimes swimming you can get this, but really consciously pressing the fingers open, fingertips come together as they draw in towards the inner part of the forearm, and then rolling it back. Hand opens, fingers come together, rolling back. And release. Another thing you can do if you get tightness in the wrists or any wrist injury is to massage yourself where the forearm muscle inserts at the elbow. This muscle gets very tight. So if you just take your thumb and press down, this is called acupressure. If you press down where the forearm muscle meets the elbow, then you're going to start to feel a deep sensation. This is the tension that's built up there. Take a few breaths. Just hold the pressure and breathe. And once you release, you're going to feel a whole new flow of blood flow. This is the same techniques they use with acupuncture. They put the needle in and it awakens the energy in the meridian. And then when you release the needle, when you release the acupressure, new blood flow, new energy can flow through that area and the blockage is released. Then you can do a little bit of a massage down the forearm, all the way down to the wrist. And then do the other side. So always remember to do both sides, whatever you're doing. Press into the muscle that inserts at the elbow. Take a few breaths. This is great also for people who do a lot of computer work. All the muscles in the arms, shoulders, and the wrists get very tight for office work. And it's really important that you release this tension. Because I used to work at a country club as a personal trainer, and we used to have a lot of clients who were getting carpal tunnel surgery. So they slice the muscle open, and they have to actually go in and perform surgery on the muscle because it becomes so tight that it's very, very painful and debilitating. So we want to prevent that. This is preventative measures